first reaction. With disease, with the end of a cycle of things, with new information, a lot of people have invested a lot in the way the old system is going, and anger rises. And there are times when I feel, that discomfort of that anger. But the consciousness field is all about being fluid. It's all about being open. It's all about having love and grace. So if you don't have to agree, you could agree to disagree, and we can have a dialogue. So perhaps we can understand where your frustration is, and maybe we can learn from you as well as you might be open to learn something from us. And one of the most important things is to try just to keep your state, no matter what goes on right now. There's going to be a lot of changes. To be open, to understand that the powers that be, like Barack Obama and our politicians, they're really not in control of making any big changes. We're in a matrix. We're in a system of everyone is in bondage to everyone else, and there was levels of information all the way up the line. So, let's not go out there, start shooting people and tearing down the government. Let's just understand that this was an old system, and now we're going to create a new world and a new system, and not the new world order. That
a new age.
A new age, right. Because our consciousness is transforming, and we're becoming new beings. We're actually becoming a new species. And I think this whole alien thing is, they're helping to guide and direct us with this new birthing process. I was just thinking about, when we thought the earth was flat, and then people came out with these ideas, the earth is round, and, the church and everybody wanted, they killed these people, they became martyrs, and then we found that we weren't revolving. The sun wasn't revolving around us, we were revolving around the sun. So we're always trying to suppress information that's new because we don't know how to handle it. Well, this is global, this is galactic, this is universal. So this is going to be a pretty big thing, and all I can say is stay calm, stay patient, have a lot of forgiveness, try to understand where everyone was coming from, and let's just move on instead of looking back. Let's move on to see what's going on and move on into the future with a new way of being, a new way of seeing, a new way of doing things.
Right, because in my opinion, the whole extraterrestrial and interdimensional and just galactic federation of different types of species or humanoids or whatever you want to call it, this opens up everything, and it's a wonderful thing because right now, America and the rest of the world is in bondage. We're being manipulated and controlled by the elite. We have to buy their oil. We have to, go to their stores. They just dominate all the corporations, all the banks. It's just one big complex scam, and it's been going on for too long. So our only hope to undo this bondage is the ETs. Luckily, they're on our side. That is the greatest point of this. Everything is there on our side.
And this whole system isn't working. Obviously, those of us who are middle class are a lot worse off now than we were before, and it doesn't seem like anything's getting any better. There's just the few people in power, and the rest of us are being squashed down to be the worker race. If we live through whatever it is that's coming our way, whatever plans that they have for the wars or the swine flus or whatever diseases or things that are in the water, we need to rise above that. And what I would say is I always look at things this way: there's the truth about the falsehood and the falsehood about the truth. So think about it that way. I think ETs, some people would feel that they're not a good thing, and they would be at odds in competition with us. But I think if beings are enlightened enough to come into this world, and I see them as benevolent and wanting to help us grow into better human beings. And with consciousness, they have a stake in it, because consciousness is one thing.
It's universal.
It's universal thing. So as we grow our consciousness, they grow their consciousness. Everything is, it's a win-win situation for everyone.
A good way of looking at it, it's like we, as humans here on Earth, we have dogs. They're our pets. We love them. So maybe it's like we're their pets. We want to help our pets, right? So naturally, they want to help us upgrade our consciousness so we could evolve, helping them evolve more at the same exact time, because it's a win-win for all of us.
Or pets affects our children. We want to care for our children and teach them to be more loving and guide them to do what's best for their future. So that's pretty much all I have to say. We don't know what these things were. We have a feeling we do know what they are, but we can't document scientifically for truth. But we do have that footage out to some of the doctors and scientists and things that as soon as they get back to us, we will let you know. But even if they were military, whatever, there was something going on, and I have a feeling this is going to be like opening Pandora's box to something else, because we're just little old Kissimmee here outside of Orlando. There's Disney World, SeaWorld. It's a place of attractions, and this is probably a good place to hide top secret information. Don't forget, they usually hide things right in front of, in plain sight, so you won't look. It's obviously we're asleep. We don't see it. Yes, and they do that, and they laugh behind our backs. If you pay attention to the movies, and I was watching some clips, I like to dissect how things work, and Hollywood is a big joke in itself, but just like the movie Scarface, for an example, the sun worship is in every single scene. There's hidden subliminal messages in Scarface, just about every single scene in the movie. And this ain't the only movie that's like this. The majority of Hollywood movies have hidden messages in them. There's hidden things occurring. But until you take the time to really research the knowledge of this esoteric information, you really have no idea what you're watching and what's taking place right in front of you. But the beautiful thing, the power, is having this knowledge and just looking at it and be like, wow, you see those subliminals? Mm-hmm. Because they all have meaning. Everything being done around us has meaning to it. Mm-hmm. And we awaken our intelligence. So we see things as they are, not as they should be, not as we're being disguised, things in disguise. But when you see things as they are, then you have a better understanding of the choices that you're going to make. And when you make the choices that are best for your own personal development, and you're aiming towards growing your higher consciousness and your spirituality and, heaven on earth and a beautiful world that we want to live in, you take back your own power. And when you're taking back your own power, individually and collectively, they don't have a chance to do anything. Exactly. But right now, we're just so easy to give away our power. And that's my whole point. As one person, each and every one of us has the power to make the change. We're not powerless. It feels like powerlessness when we see the powers that be that have been there forever doing the same old thing over and over and over again. But once you start to wake up, you say, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care, if I got to go live in the mountains of Tibet, I'm not going to fall into this trap anymore, because I'm never going to find happiness that way. There's never going to be peace, love, heaven on earth, or any of that stuff in my life or anyone else's life. And I don't really know how I can be happy when I see people around me starving and suffering, from the effects of the things from the powers that be. I mean, there's just no way you can find a peace or a state of grace that way. We're all